Stories by Friends for Friends on April 20th. Hello Song by Miss Megan and Harper. Hello friends. Hello friends. Hello friends. It's time to say hello. What do you see, Harper? We are outside in nature right now, and we are going to do something new for mindfulness after our stories. So stay tuned. Our guest reader tonight is Evan, 17 years old.
Hello. Today I'm going to be reading Bats at the Library. This was one of my favorite books as a child, so I hope that you all like it as well. Another inky evening's here. The air is cool and calm and clear. We feasted, fluttered, swooped, and soared, and yet we're still a little bored. All this sameness leaves us blue and makes us ache for something new. Then word spreads quickly from afar. A window has been left ajar. Can it be true? Oh, can it be? Yes. Bat night at the library. The sky is lively as we race together toward our favorite place. Eager wings beat autumn air. Look, that's it. We're almost there. And here's the library. They're all swooping in. Then squeezed together wing to wing, we rocket through the opening. We've waited for this night all year, but this is it at last. We're here. For most old bats, this isn't new. They've got lots of things to do. They'll flutter off and lose themselves among the books lined up on the shelves. Other bats in munchy moods will study guides to fancy foods or hang out by a lamp instead to talk about the books they've read. But little bats will have to learn the reason that we must return. The ones who haven't to come before have no idea what's in store. Some of them will drift away and figure out a game to play, like shaking shadows on the wall or wing tip tag around the hall. This big box is loads of fun, blasting brighter than the sun. Instead of copying books from shelves, we can duplicate ourselves. Doesn't matter where you look, there's nothing like a pop-up book. The fountain water's nice and cool and makes a splendid swimming pool. Please keep it down, you must behave. This library is not your cave. It's hard to settle down and read when life flits by at dizzy speed, but story time is just the thing to rest a play exhausted wing. And if we listen, we will hear some distant voices drawing near. Louder, louder, louder still, they coax and pull us in until everyone, old bat or pup, has been completely swallowed up and lives inside a book instead of simply hearing something read. Breathless lost within the tale, no one sees the sky grow pale. What is that light? A lamp? The moon? Our bookish feast can't end so soon. It feels as though we've just begun, but now we leave our books half done. Through the window into sky, it's much too late, we've got to fly. But maybe a librarian will give us bats this chance again. and leave a window open wide to let us share the world inside. For now we'll dream of things we've read, a universe inside each head. Every evening, one and all will listen for that late night call. Can it be true, or can it be, yes, that night at the library? And that is the end of the book. It's very good.
Story read by Miss Megan to provide more information about bats. Bats by Gail Gibbons. This is a nonfiction book about bats. Bats dive, swoop, and swerve through the dark night sky. These creatures are nocturnal, meaning they are awake at night and asleep during the day. Most people have never seen a bat. Bats have played an important part in stories. Many people have thought bats were evil spirits. Others have thought they were friends of ghosts and witches. Because many unkind things have been said about bats, some people still think they are scary. Actually, bats are shy and gentle animals. Bats are mammals, as are dogs, cats, and humans. All mammals are warm-blooded animals, and their babies are born alive instead of being hatched from eggs. Bats are the only mammals that can fly. Right here we have a funnel-eared bat. On this page, there's a little brown bat. Bats have been around for a long time. The oldest bat fossil found is 50 million years old. These prehistoric bats looked a lot like today's bats. All bats have the same basic characteristics, including large wings, small bodies, and light-weighted bones. We have the wing right here, eye, nose, the ears. This is the body. It says right here that the little brown bat is 3 inches long. There's a foot and a tail, and it says the fur of a bat can be either black, white, red, brown, or gray. And the wingspan says that it's 10 inches wide. Bat wings are different from the wings of insects and birds. A bat's wing has long arm bones with very long finger bones. A thin skin called a membrane stretches between the bones. The thumb ends with a claw. The membrane connects the wing bones to a bat's body and legs. A bat can move each finger separately to change the shape of its wing. This helps it change its speed and direction quickly. Here's the membrane in between the fingers. And if you look on this side, you have the membranes. And you also have the arm bone, the claw, the thumb, second finger, a third finger, a fourth finger, and a fifth finger. Just like us, we have 5 fingers too. Some bats can fly as fast as 15 miles an hour and as high as 10,000 feet. When a bat lands, it flips upside down and hangs by its toe claws. It uses these claws to move around. This is a giant flying fox. And as you can see, those are his toe claws. Bats choose many kinds of dark nooks and crannies to live in. These places are called roosts. Many bats live together in caves, attics, barns, or tall trees. In places where it gets cold in the winter, some kinds of bats migrate to warmer climates. Others use their roosts to hibernate until spring.
Just before hibernating begins, bats eat lots of food to live on during the long winter months. Their heartbeats slow down and their body temperatures drop. Here in the corner, it says bats migrate when they go to and from warmer climates. And what we see here are Mexican free-tailed bats. Bats hibernate when they sleep deeply for long periods of time. They're all sleeping, so let's not wake them up. Bats live on every continent except Antarctica. Most of them live in hot climates where there are many insects, fruits, and flowers to feed on. Those are epaulet bats. They're eating on berries. There are about 1,000 different kinds of bats. The smallest is the Kitti's hog-nosed bat. Its wingspan is 5 inches and it weighs only 1/14 of an ounce. The biggest bat is a giant flying fox and has a wingspan of about 5 feet and it weighs about 2 pounds. They both live in Asia. Most bats are insect eaters and have a special way of seeing in the night called echolocation. A bat spends out a rapid beeping sound, too high-pitched for people to hear. When hunting, the sound waves hit an insect. The waves bounce back to the bat's ears as echoes. These echoes tell the bat the size and shape of the insect and where it is located. In a flash, the bat swoops up the insect. If it weren't for bats, there would be too many insects. So we have the little brown bat looking at a moth for dinner, using echolocation. There are fruit and nectar-eating bats too. These bats help pollinate plants so we can have foods such as avocados, figs, and bananas. They also help scatter the seeds. There's a nectar bat. Nectar is the sweet juice from flowers. And up here in the corner, it shows you the inside of a flower, where the stigma is, the stamen. It says pollination happens when a grain of pollen of a stamen lands on the stigma of another flower like itself. That helps them grow. Few kinds of bats are meat eaters. They eat fish, frogs, mice, and sometimes birds. They have smooth, sharp, crushing teeth that allow them to eat what they catch, bones and all. It says right here that this is a fishing bat. Blood is the only food for vampire bats. They are found in Mexico, Central America, and South America. When the vampire bat finds an animal, it makes a tiny cut with its teeth in the animal's skin. Then the bat laps up the blood with its tongue. The animal hardly feels the cut. Thank goodness we don't have any of those here. Many scary and untrue stories have been told about vampire bats and people called vampires. The famous fictional vampire called Dracula frequently is shown with bats circling him. Some bats have long, narrow faces. Others have short, round faces. Some bats have leaf-like shapes on their faces, while others look like dogs. We have a dawn bat, a tube-nosed fruit bat, a Jamaican fruit bat, and a pollet bat, and a little brown bat. Most bats have very good hearing and can see well. Most bats have a good sense of smell too. In the springtime, female bats gather together in roosts that will become nurseries. They will give birth to their babies called pups. Most bats have only one pup at a time. During birth, the mother bat hangs by her thumb claws with her head up. She forms a basket with her tail membrane. At birth, the pup slides from her body into the basket. There's a little baby bat, little pup. As soon as the pup is born, its mother hangs head down again. The pup nurses while being cradled under the mother's wing. The pup clings to its mother's fur using its own sharp teeth and claws. The young pup grows quickly. A 10-day-old pup is almost too heavy for its mother to carry. At 3 months old, it is flying on nightly hunting trips. When it is about 1 year old, it is an adult. Today, in many places, bat populations are getting smaller. These bats are endangered. One reason is that many people still don't like bats and destroy their habitats. Other causes are pollution and the use of pesticides for killing crop-damaging insects. In many places, there aren't enough bats to keep down the number of insect pests or to pollinate flowers. People are learning how to protect bats. Some people provide bat houses where they can roost. Sometimes people cover bat cave entrances with grill work. Bats are free to come and go, but people can't enter. Also, there are nature preserves that protect large groups of bats. Bats play an important role in nature. It's fun to learn about them. Here are some interesting facts of diving, swooping, and swerving bats. The Mexican free-tailed bats that live in Bracken Cave near San Antonio, Texas, eat about 250 tons of insects a night. Almost 1/2 of the bat species living in the United States are endangered. Under the Congress Avenue Bridge in Austin, Texas, one can see more than 1 million Mexican free-tailed bats roosting. They have become a tourist attraction. In China, bats are a symbol of good luck. Most bats live to be 10 to 14 years old. Some bats communicate with each other by using their sense of smell or making sounds. Have you ever heard the saying, "as blind as a bat"? It's not true. Bats can see quite well. Some people think all bats carry a disease called rabies. This is not true. Bats can get rabies, but no more easily than any other animal. Never touch a bat you find on the ground. It might try to bite you if it's frightened, and it could be sick. There are about 40 species of bats found in North America. The most common is a little brown bat. It can eat 600 insects an hour. Wow. We just learned a lot of good information about bats. To practice mindfulness, you need to be in the present moment, the here and now, here with me. And you also need to have a clear mind. So remember to throw any feelings or thoughts out the window, just for now, and be here with me.
Remember when we do our mindfulness practice, how we've always been doing the singing bowl? Well, I have a new way to bring mindfulness to you by using not just your ears, but using your eyes and your nose and your sense of touch. And what you can do is be in nature. And so I found this wonderful nature spot right in my backyard. I have a river behind me, and I'm in the woods. There's trees all around. I hear birds all around, and I can hear the wind right now going through the trees. And there's a lot of wonderful things that you can notice of just being in the present moment, and that's what mindfulness is. So what I would like you guys to do, what I would like you guys to do is to find a special spot in nature, maybe tomorrow, or maybe even on Earth Day, because Earth Day is coming up. And you can be sitting down and just take 5 minutes, just like how we do for the singing bowl, and just be quiet and be able to notice things around you by using your ears and your eyes and your nose. And for me right now, when I can notice on my face, actually, I can feel the wind blowing. It's getting a little chilly. And I can also hear the birds. And I can also hear the river behind me flowing. And with my eyes, I can see little bugs now starting to fly around. That's fun for springtime. I can also see the wind blowing through the trees. I can see the sun shining on the river. That looks really pretty. And I can also feel the ground beneath me. I'm sitting on a whole bunch of leaves. And I can feel those, and I can actually hear. Do you hear that, Harper? The crunch of the leaves. Yeah, I got them all over me. That's what happens in nature, though, right? So take some time out of your day and practice mindfulness by just being present in the moment and being around nature. Have fun, guys. Goodbye song by Miss Megan and Harper. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Can you say goodbye to everyone, Harper? Are you ready to leave already? Go sniff around. Find different signs of nature that you can hear and taste and smell and feel. All right. Bye, friends. Thank you for watching tonight's Stories by Friends for Friends. And thank you to Evan for submitting your video. I hope you've learned lots of new things about bats, and I hope that you're able to bring this mindfulness practice that you've learned today into your everyday life. If you would like to submit a video to be a part of this experience, please send your video to mgrondin@hilllibrary.org.